lots of other
yeah, and then tonight I'll have to change the clock. I mean, forwards. Oh, change the clocks, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately these things
I'm trying to go back on that tomorrow, but I'm
Say how nice you look.
get it. So
This one's been out.
I had to, but I'm trying to go back on
It won't do that automatically for you then, I guess.
So glad to see every single one of you here today, bringing sunshine. Thank you. I'm sure today you're going to hear words and a voice you're probably familiar with, and now you can put a face to it. So let's welcome Andrew Brewis.
That was indeed the first song of that type that I've ever written. Way back in 2000, and I wrote it in 2005. And up until then, I've never written anything in my life before. And it was at the behest of a Christian Science teacher and practitioner called Fenella Bennett, who suggested that I might like to write more updated tunes for young people, because they were going on a Christian Science youth camp in the United Kingdom, and they wanted something a bit more, I can't think of the word. Lively.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she thought of me. So That was the only song that I'd written. So, and it was a 2-week-long camp in the UK. So they sang that one hymn for 2 weeks. But it was nice. It was that one's actually got published in the hymnal as well, which was that was really nice. And I still can't get my head around your and you, but they changed the words to make it even more updated. But it will always be to me, I love thy way of freedom, Lord, not I love your way of freedom, Lord. So I'm trying to keep with the time. It feels wrong when I sing it. This is a song called I Love to Tell the Story. I love to tell the story of unseen things above, of Jesus and his glory, of Jesus and his love. I love to tell the story because I know it's true. It satisfies my longing as nothing else can do. I love to tell the story. It is nothing glory to tell the old story. Jesus and his love. So when we came back from that youth camp, it was felt like it was a good idea to write a few more. So
2 weeks at one.
So I wrote a few more, and I was at the time we set up a little group. There were 3 of us, and we were called the New Song Group. It was myself and 2 old school friends. One was a flautist, you say here, then we say flautist. We had a flute player, and then her name was Tamsin, and then we had Ellie Scott, who was this singer. And we recorded several CDs that went out through CSBS. And we toured America, and we did lots of wonderful things together. It was very, very lovely. And then we all started having children and things, and it made it a bit difficult to work into life. Anyway, one of the ones that a poem that had always been really, really special to me was Mary Baker Eddy's poem, Satisfied. I've always found it really, really helpful, and I wanted to find a new tune that would envelop those words, not detract from them at all, if anything, to make them shine. even more. And I love the thing that Hans Christian Andersen said about music. He said, where words stop, music begins. And I sometimes think the marriage of words and music kind of works in some sort of extra spiritual way. You get through when sometimes words can't. And this was the case with this song, because I sat down at the piano and I read the poem through once, and I had no idea what notes I was going to play, what chords were, and it was literally divine inspiration. And the song came together in about 10 minutes. And when that happens, it's like a bolt of lightning, but not like a harmful bolt of lightning. It's like a really, really energizing, spiritual, everything. It was amazing, and so much so that I fell off my piano stool. Literally. So this is also in the hymn book. Feel like joining in? No. Please join in. It matters not what we are known, so Another hymn that was always really special to me when I was growing up was hymn 52 in the grey, green, blue, whatever. It changed colour, it didn't last the world. Some of the blue, some of the green, some of the brown. And some of them are very old and very faded. It's very nice. But that one, the 1932 hymn book, hymn 52, which is Eternal Mind. The potter is and thought the eternal clay. Always loved those words as a young,
Me too.
growing up. And I think it was especially poignant for me because I was thinking about my grandmother. My grandmother was my Sunday school teacher for a while. She was always throughout my Sunday school life the superintendent. Always, I can always remember. The bit, the scientific statement of being. We all used to hold hands at the end and say, he is spiritual at the end. Anyway, it was not only that, she was my Christian Science practitioner as well. And then beyond that, she was a potter. So I always had this image. I always looked up to my grandmother, of course. The fact that she was a potter as well, and that idea of God being the potter and we're just, the clay which is molded, it was really special. So what I could never get used to was the fact that there was such beautiful words, and now as I got older, getting older and wiser, that tune really grated with me, because there's such beautiful words, and they're so inspiring. We have this. And the two didn't marry. So I wrote this one. I read this one. The story behind this one is accepting divine inspiration and listening to the thoughts when they come to you and not thinking, oh, I'll deal with that later. Yeah, I know, God's love, that's fine. But actually really putting it into action. And I was just about to go on stage last year, doing a play which had nothing to do with spirituality or anything at all. We'd been given clearance, the stage lights were on, we were waiting for the curtain to go up. I was just turning my phone off, and I got this idea for The Lord is My Shepherd in my head. I thought, I can't go on and do the first half of the play because I'll forget it. So I thought, why are we getting right now? So I didn't turn my phone off. I whispered the tune very quietly into the iPhone, or the basics of it, switched it off, and went on stage and did the show, and then dealt with it after the show. But I did listen. I didn't throw it away. I listened right down and said, okay, I'm going to do this right now. And if the curtain goes up a minute late, it goes up a minute late. That's okay. So this is what we have. The Lord is my shepherd. I'll not want. He makes me down to lie in pastures green. He leadeth me by the waters by. His goodness restores my soul. His goodness restores my soul. Okay, the only one song that I do when I'm doing these spiritually, hopefully uplifting concerts is a song by Fenella Bennett, as I say, who was a Christian Science teacher and practitioner, and she wrote some amazing articles and stuff. We get a chance to look at some of those in the periodicals. But she was also, she was a little bit like my surrogate mother growing up during school years. Her house was the polar opposite of mine. Her home was always full of peace and joy and inspiration and yeah, it was an incredible place. I used to kind of go there for sanctuary, and it was wonderful. Not only that, but she was also a brilliant musician as well. She was a Cambridge graduate in music, so she knew her stuff. She was very supportive of all the things that I did, and she kind of explained music in a way that up till then I hadn't really understood. Up till then, it had always been a bit. I could never really play it very well, and because I didn't understand notes and sequences. I'm a terrible mathematician, because mathematicians are supposed to be good musicians as well, and they join together. I'm really rubbish at maths. I tell you, terrible. Anyway, she taught me how to play the piano and chord sequences, and she actually taught me this song. No one to talk with, all by myself. I'm through with fighting, cause it's time to run through. You know, I'm misbehaving, I'm saving all my love for you. That's all the song. So great chord sequences, and I kind of put those into my own way of playing and thinking, and the result was the stuff that I play now. So if it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. Anyway, she wrote a lovely poem for little ones called The Circle of Love. And the poem isn't just for little ones, because we're all surrounded by and included in that circle of love. So she wrote a really lovely tune, which I kind of played around with as well a little bit.
Sun.
Okay. Shall I do this too?
Question?
Yes,
Andrew?
yeah.
Fenella Bennett has a couple of hymns in our hymnal.
She's got 12.
12.
Yeah.
That's a couple, yeah.
She's got 12. Oh, well, because she wrote as well as wrote music. If you count them all separately, there's 12 together.
In the new hymnal.
Yeah. Yeah. She beat me by 4. I've got 8.
Yeah, right.
This is one of the ones that is in the hymn book. This came out of a Sunday school. This came out of a Sunday school class that Fenella was teaching at the time. So this is a collaboration between myself and Fenella, and at the time, Sunday school pupil called Robert Whitney. And it goes like this. This is called Light of the World.
Beside the sea, what is the power that makes him strong? How can we learn to sing his song? He told us of the light of the world.
One thing that really struck me the other day is, and it was a lesson for me, the whole idea of eternity. I just find it, I suppose it is unfathomable, isn't it? But my little thing here finds eternity just like, how can that be? But it is, because life just keeps on happening. Life is eternal. And it was actually to do with words and music. I thought there's only 8 notes. We've only got 8 notes. And how many letters do we have in the alphabet? Is it 25, 26? 26. Okay, we've got 26 letters and 8 notes. Now you would have thought, how long have we been in existence? Playing, singing, writing music. Like hundreds and hundreds, thousands of years, yeah? You would have thought, with just 8 notes and 26 letters, it's all been done before, hasn't it? There must be only a certain number of combinations, and yet, from that, all these things just keep appearing. Like, isn't that incredible? And I think it's a life lesson. You just think, oh, well, it's all been done before, you know. And it hasn't. The path is just go, follow it. I just think it's amazing. Anyway, I digress. Here's another version of Shepherd Show Me How to Go, which I'd just been at Principia College, mentoring some of the students there, and I was in one of the rehearsal rooms, and this came to me for Sunday school pupils. But it's very different from the last one. Shepherd, show me how to go for the hills unseen, how to gather, how to sow, how to feed the sheep. I will listen for thy voice, lest my footsteps stray. I will follow and rejoice on the rugged way. Thou wilt find the stubborn will wound the callous breast, make self-righteousness be still, bring us to witness. Strangers on a foreign shore, they bring no alone. We would enter by the door and rush the door. So one day it's dark and cold, tear or triumph heart. Leave the lanterns to the fold, take them in my arms. Feed the hungry in the heart, till the morning's blue. Not as when they depart. Check the wash them, check the wash them, check the wash them, please. The little ears can only deal with little tunes, so we don't need big. Anyway, this is a version of "Behold, what manner of love the Father had put upon us, that we should be called the children of God." And growing up in Sunday school, I had a question from my mum when I was about 9, I think. And I asked my mum who Hymnot was. I thought it was some German bloke. You shall know him not. This is a lovely poem by an American playwright called William Luce. He wrote lots of beautiful poems, and they were put to music by, I've forgotten the man's name, gone blank, he was a prison science teacher.
Martin Brewis?
No. Anyway, can't remember. Anyway, they went on to write songs for Doris Day. So quite a good pedigree. Martin Brewis. Yes. So yeah, anyway, I spoke to William Luce's godson and heir and all the rest of it about these poems, because I came across them all during the lockdowns that we had a few years ago, and I was just looking for new poetry and prose, and all these they just spoke to me, and I was able to share. This is one of my favourite ones. It's called In a Secret Place.
In the secret place, in the heart of prayer, there is always light shining everywhere. You'll learn to love with a gentle grace when you talk with God in a secret place. When you talk with God in a secret place. God is his arms. In that secret place, nothing hurts or harms. You'll be at peace, you'll know his face. Find your home in a secret place. In the secret place, in the heart of prayer, there is always light shining everywhere. You will learn to run with a gentle pace when you talk with God in a secret place. When you talk with God. In a secret place.
Okay, something to wake us up. Someone else to get the words. This one's in my is working his purpose out. He succeeds the year. God is working his purpose out all the time. All the time that shall surely be. And the earth shall be filled with the glory of God as the Lord is not the sea. The earth may be filled with the glory of God as the Lord didn't like me at all.
That reminded me of something out of Aladdin.
Oh,
It's tango.
It just, yeah, it's all the genie saying, it's just, you know, that's just like Aladdin.
well, I tell you, if you're going to have half the success that's had, you should be okay. Okay, this next one is, it was a poem by Jill Gooding, who is also a Christian Science teacher and practitioner. And when they were putting the second supplement together for the hymn book, they were almost there, but they had a space for one more, apparently, and they wanted a hymn that was more specifically purely Christian Science. And they came across Jill's poem that had been published, I think it was in a journal a few years before, and it was called The 3 L's for Life. What are the 3 L's for life?
Lean, let lean love.
Yeah.
Let lean love.
Up for discussion, which is the easiest of those. Love's the easiest, what's the most difficult?
Let.
I think so. Yeah. Loving is okay, and I can do the leaning, yeah. But the letting is sometimes, that's the big one for me. Anyway, I think they had a very short window to get this ready and to go to the printers, but they didn't have, they had the words, but they didn't have the tune. but they said they had someone in Boston lined up to do it, and then Jill said, hang fire, because I have someone who might be able to do something with it. So she emailed me, she rang me and she emailed me, and then she said, here are the words, have a listen and see, to read it and see what you think. And then I rang her back 10 minutes later, and she said, oh, did the email not come through? I'm sure I've got the right email. I said, no, it's there, it's done. I'll pop round later, because it's ready. So 10 minutes later, it was there. So this is called Leave It in Love. And they've got verse 1, 2, 3, and verse 4. When I wrote it as a piece of music, verse 4 becomes a chorus, because you get to sing it each time. The crux of the thing is and sing and love it. You get to sing that 3 times. Lean on the sustaining infinite, blessings where we go. Lean not on personal place or fame, or economic glory. Lean upon no blessing God, will all needs supply. Give to all abundant good, so lean and listen. This is the balanced way. It's free from self-will. Always in God's way. Leaning is so gentle, letting is so free, and loving is the only way to think and speak and be. Healing, truth, and life, reign of love divine, how established to be, to show God's clear design. Oneness indivisible, love and me as one. So praise to praise, something is to song. So lean and let her love you, join. This is the balanced way. It's free from self-righteousness. God's love. Lean is so gentle, letting is so free, and loving is the only way to think and speak and be. Of the heart of tenderness, your enemies and friends. However hard this may appear, this quality just may. Love is God in action true, a presence that is felt. Leaning and singing so lean and written love. This is the balanced way. It's free from self-will, precious stress. Always in God's way. Leaning is so gentle, letting is so free, and loving is the only way to think and speak and be. And loving, it's the only way to think and speak and be. Don't know.
What's just the beginning words that?
The hymn book. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Really?
Yeah.
Letting.
I don't know what hymn number it is, but it's there somewhere. Okay, 2 more from me. The first one is a poem by a man called Peter Henneke Heaton. I came across it a year and a half ago, and the poem really spoke to me. And I recorded this the other day with the students up at Principia. So it's say this recently, I say in the last 3 or 4 years, my writing of these hymns and spiritual songs has become, it's really become my daily prayer, and subsequently, I guess, in my Christian Science, put into practice. Because I don't see the point of me just sitting at the piano and going, I'll do this today, I'll write one of those and I'll just do it. And when I do that, it never works anyway. But when it's actually for a specific reason, and the reason is I need to get my thought in the right place, or I need to share some spiritual truths with my family, or my friends, or my neighbours, or the world. For me, marrying the words with the music makes it come alive. And it's proved really healing for me and for those around me. So when people need help, I very often just like put a new tune to a piece of poetry you might already have it in our literature. And it's amazing the work that it does. It blows me away. But this one in particular, we sang 598 in church about 3 weeks ago. And this friend, very close friend of mine, was going to be going into hospital on Wednesday of that week. And we just felt like it was, we were all singing together, but we always felt, I said to her after church, I just said, that hymn was just like, just for you. That's the reason we sang it. Where you're going, love will lead you. Where you're walking, love will guide. If you're hungry, love will feed you. Love is always at your side. So I put a new tune to the one that's in the hymn book. It goes like this. It'll be on a CD somewhere online because we recorded it at Principia last week with a choir and a big brass section, and then we sang it in French, and we sang it in Portuguese, and then we sang it in English. And it's
Was this the upper school or
at the college, and it was I was amazed. I was like a complete wreck by the end of the week. Anyway, go. Where you're going, love will lead you. When you're walking, love will guide. If you're hungry, love will feed you. Love is always at your side. When you're sleeping, love will guide you. I'm glad I got here. It looked like it on there because it wasn't going to happen, but it did. Love leads. So thank you so much for
Thank you.
inviting me, guys, and yeah, glad it all worked out.
Can I ask a question?
You can. Only one, though.
It seems to me, I hear that in all the music and stuff and the way you're playing and the arrangements, are you a fan of Broadway and the arrangements?
Well, you mean like show tunes?
Yes.
I do like show tunes. It has to be said, yes. I do love show tunes. But I also, I was talking to the kids at Principia, I was saying, if you can just train your ears to listen to as many different styles of music that you can do, don't just get stuck on show tunes or orchestra or rock or pop or jazz or whatever it is. Just go and listen to everything. Because if you're a composer, you just hear different things in your head the whole time. But yeah, I do love a bit of jazz hands. But yeah, if there's an English singer-songwriter who's passed on now, if you ever get a chance to listen to him online, a chap called Peter Skellen, and he was from the north of the country, and he was just a brilliant piano player, beautiful, heartfelt singer. And I followed him throughout his career, and he had something really special about it. I met him several times, he's sent me music, and we collaborated on a few things. And then I just something really, I don't know what it was about him that I just moved me every time I heard him play. And towards the end of his life, it turned out that he wanted to become a priest. And I read an article about it. He said all these parties and theatres and stuff that he played at, it was fine, it was okay. But what his calling was to be a man of God and to be a priest. And he then became really ill. He was fast-tracked by the Church of England to become a priest. Then he became a priest, and then he passed on about 3 weeks after. But I just thought, there's that special spark in that man. He never said anything about it. I just thought that he's got God, something in there. So really cool. His name is Peter Skellen, if you get a chance to look.
Last name?
Skellen, Skellen. Fantastic musician.
Is the new CD that you're doing with Pran, is that going to be through the Publishing Society?
It's all really early days.
Oh.
No idea.
Do you have just the one of your own solo, the Listen CD from?
No, I've got 2 new ones out there.
For sale.
I do.
Good.
The more you buy, the less I have to take. And the more presents I can take home for my daughter.
Yes, if you are interested in purchasing one of Andrew's CDs, he has them set up out here, and any contributions you'd like to make to him, or?
Yes, I haven't actually bought my flight home yet, so.
We actually picked him up hitchhiking on I-70. And we will also have refreshments down in the kitchen here in a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Mingle, visit, ask questions.
Solo.
Thank you so much. I just want to give a testimony about your CD that I bought from the reading room.
Yes.
The Listen one.
Yes.
I probably listen to that once a week. It is so healing.